Howdy. So, for the Intex above ground pool, they've got these, I think this is a 1000 GF crystal clear filter pump, and all of them have the same problem. They have inside the bottom here there is kind of a little axle that the impeller rides on, and every single one of them ends up getting a little off and breaks. And that's I've got 4 or 5 of these things, and that's exactly what breaks in all of them every time. Probably because for how long I've got it running. But I clean the filter every week and change it. I probably clean it during the summertime a little more than that, probably every other day, and change it once a month, and it still ends up breaking. So the way to fix this, I've found, because the company won't supply the part, is I built my own, and I started building them out of wood, and that's the part that is needed. But I found on Amazon that you can get a plastic part, and I'm trying that this time. The wooden part is helping, but you take the screws out of the bottom of this thing and pull the motor out. You can see all the screw holes in there that goes all the way around. That's where that's where the water gets sucked into the impeller and out, and that's where the filter sits also. So you take the guard off of here, and the impeller will come out. It's a magnet-driven impeller. See, that thing comes off of there like that. And inside there, it kind of rides on this little rubber bushing. And this one, I've been changing them with the wooden dowels. This is where it gets inserted into. But I've been using the wooden dowels, but wooden dowels expand when they get wet. So they only last for, I don't know, just like 2 or 3 days. But at least it cleaned the water for me while I was waiting for these other plastic ones. But that's the little dowel that the impeller rides on. That spins inside here, and that goes up to keep the dowel in there. Now the length of the dowel looks like 3 inches. Looks like it's about 3 inches, maybe just a little bit further. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this one at 3 inches. So on Amazon, I purchased these plastic dowels. They're 1/8 inch diameter, and that fits into the top part and the bottom part, keeping the impeller in place when it's spinning so fast. So this one is going to be, I'm going to use the old one as my measuring part, and cut a little piece of this dowel out. Like I said, it's 1/8 inch diameter, and that fits down into the impeller motor, into another crevice down there, kind of the same way this one is, only it's on the bottom. And you take the impeller, and like I said, it's magnet driven, so whenever you put it in here, it'll get kind of sucked down into it like that. And see how the top part of the impeller axle is on there? And put that back on and squeeze it into the top part, and that holds the impeller in place when it's spinning. And just reverse the process and put the screws back in it. Doesn't really take very much time to change it out, and I'm hoping that now that this one's plastic, it'll last longer than the other one that I have. But this is a fix for those Intex pool pumps that always end up breaking after like a month or two. Sometimes during the summertime, it doesn't take that long. That just fits in. If you look in here, there's a little groove on this side that's the opposite of where the water input and output is. And if you match that up, there's another little groove on the impeller motor, and you can kind of wiggle it in there. It takes a little bit to get it in there. And then match that up with the groove that's on there. And sometimes you gotta, I've used like a wood clamp to get this in there, but I just took this one apart not too long ago, so I'm hoping it'll, sometimes the bushing ring all the way around kind of makes it tight. There it goes. But that's how you fix these Intex motors. And it's real cheap. I think these little dowels were like $4, and I can make however many I need to out of them. There were 15 of them in a bundle. So that's how you fix the Intex 1000 GFI motor for the water pump. Thanks.